Well, my name is Scott, and we own this right here, and this is what we've done to kind of change the neighborhood. You know, last night I was thinking, why do we even have front yards anymore? Because when I was a little kid, everyone played in the front yard, and we were much more public. You know, everyone was out, and now it's like our lives have become much more private, and kids play in the backyard. Since it's a rental property, renters don't usually like to water a yard. And so we thought if we do drought-tolerant plants, you know, the water bill and stuff would be much lower. You know, if kids aren't going to play and use it like we did as in the past, that's why one of the reasons I like to take it out, because it should be, why not make it a whole into a garden, something that's a thing of beauty and stuff for the neighborhood. And since this is such a transitional neighborhood, and that's the scary thing, is it's one of those that you can teeter either way so easily, that doing something like this hopefully will tilt the neighborhood towards people caring and people improving and being proud of their homes versus somewhere they pull into the garage, shut the garage door, and never set foot with their neighbors or see it, you know, pay attention to anybody outside. A couple people can make or break a neighborhood. Usually a nicer looking neighborhood is a safer neighborhood. It's probably more work in many ways, because when you mow a yard, you know, you do it once a week, in an hour you're done and it's kind of finished. And this takes little bits of upkeep and everything that you gotta mess with. Realistically, I don't have to water a whole lot. It's they're drought-tolerant plants, and I would say in another year or so, once they're really established, I won't have to hardly water at all. I grew up in a little farm town, so where people know each other and shoot the bull and kind of like our friends, and in a big city of like Dallas, you so much lose that. And I love being in an area where the people care and visit each other, and it's kind of like the small town feeling in a city of 3 million. I guess it kind of along those lines, fear of living in a box where you don't know anything about the people next door. You're so isolated. You're kind of like dead to the community. No one cares whether or not you're there or not. The scary thing is now, because I've resisted up until this year having a cell phone, because I think I always get the feeling like it's a major intrusion on privacy. But now that I got a cell phone, you have to have it with you wherever you go. When we spread compost this year, we noticed that we had a potato plant and cantaloupe coming up, and before we know it, we had this huge cantaloupe. Most people have their vegetable gardens in back. Well, we had this volunteer cantaloupe plant, and people would drive by and stop and look at the, you know, try and say, wow, these are great cantaloupes, why are they here? Just volunteers. So it's been kind of fun, and I'm kind of tempted to do that every year now. So you want to go over there by the booth? So, you know, they've been, since the new hive, we weren't expecting them to do very much this year. And they've already filled all the way up into the upper level. And we're going to have to add another another level to it to give them more space. But we do it because we don't want to be beekeepers. We want to be bee havers. Beekeepers are really into getting all the honey in, doing all this. Bee havers are kind of like, they want to have a hive, and if they get honey, that's okay. If they don't, that's okay. You know, it's just cool to have them around. With the bees, it makes your pollination go vastly better. They're pretty cool. Like I said, they don't bother you. They just fly in and out, and they don't even really pay attention to you. This is what we do to help turn around the neighborhood.